Over $29 billion. That's how much military aid Germany has committed to Ukraine since the start of Russia's ruthless invasion. And those billions, let's just say they weren't wasted. Ukraine received Leopard 2 tanks, trusted worldwide for their reliability and firepower. Then there are the Gepard self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, so precise that they can lock onto birds. And let's not forget the widely sought-after Patriot air defense system, worth roughly $1.1 billion per battery. And every cent well spent. But Germany isn't done. On January 13, 2025, it took another bold step, once again changing the game. It gave Ukraine a weapon so cutting-edge that even the German armed forces hadn't received it yet. A weapon that makes Russian soldiers look utterly useless. Let's break this down. We must start by looking at the bigger picture. After all, this isn't just another weapon, it's a major milestone with layers of significance. For starters, Ukraine will be the first to field this groundbreaking technology. Not just in the current war, not just in Europe, the first in the world, making history in real time. And that's not even the most remarkable part. Germany doesn't even have it. It's a rare moment in military history when a nation gets a weapon so cutting-edge, it's still off-limits to even its own creators. Of course, this will change in the future. Germany is set to integrate this weapon into its own forces, marking a massive leap in its artillery capabilities. This highly mobile, automated artillery system is poised to become the backbone of Germany's so-called medium forces. Germany's plans to acquire 80 units, funded by its Special Defense Fund, are just the beginning of what will likely be a game-changing asset in military defense. It's not just about the defense of Ukraine and Germany, though. This weapon is set to revolutionize defense across Europe. In a remarkable display of military collaboration, the United Kingdom has jumped on board, planning to procure this system alongside Germany. The joint effort will not only enhance both countries' military capabilities, but will also secure hundreds of jobs in both nations. And even this isn't the end of the line for this revolutionary weapon. Other NATO members, including Switzerland and Italy, are already lining up to incorporate this system into their forces, and with more countries, both NATO and non-NATO, on the radar, this weapon has the potential to reshape the artillery landscape across the globe. So the significance of this moment extends far beyond the battlefield. It's a show of strength, collaboration, and an unmistakable statement that Germany and Europe aren't just keeping up with modern military trends, they're setting them. These weapon systems also strengthen the ties between Ukraine and its allies, forging partnerships that will endure long after the war is over. For Russia, this partnership and the firepower behind it make its position weaker with each passing day. But hey, before we get too carried away with all this talk about importance, let's take a step back. We've gone on and on about what the weapon means, but we haven't properly introduced it. Time to fix that. So what exactly is this weapon that's making Russia sweat? Now introducing the RCH-155, the remote-controlled howitzer, 155mm of sheer artillery brilliance. Now, Germany is no stranger to sending artillery to Ukraine. As one of the staunchest supporters from the very beginning, Germany secured an impressive arsenal for the invaded country, including 372,000 rounds of 155mm ammunition, 19,000 rounds of 122mm ammunition, and 25 self-propelled howitzers, the Panzerhaubitze 2000, complete with spare parts. The country also delivered 7 M109 155mm howitzer tubes, 21,000 rounds of 155mm smoke and illuminating ammunition, and ammunition for multiple rocket launchers like the Mars 2, not to mention 3 HIMARS multiple rocket launchers, 2 wheeled self-propelled Susanna II howitzers, jointly financed with Denmark and Norway, and 155mm precision-guided ammunition like SMART and Volcano. And as if that weren't enough, Germany supplied 5 Mars 2 multiple rocket launchers with ammunition, as well as 20 rocket launchers mounted on pickup trucks, a counter-battery radar system Cobra, and 10 laser target designators for the Volcano artillery rounds. This is all impressive, no doubt, but the RCH-155, that's a whole other beast. It's not just another addition to the artillery lineup, it's a leap into a new era of warfare. Let's break down what makes this weapon so special. First off, the design. This isn't some patched-together makeshift system. It's a perfectly engineered blend of 2 tried-and-true military components. On one side, you've got the 155mm L52 main gun from the Panzerhaubitze 2000. It's the kind of gun that's already proven itself in tough combat situations. On the other side, the RCH-155 is mounted on the chassis of the GTK Boxer, a powerful armored vehicle designed for both protection and mobility. The Boxer has been built to move quickly and efficiently across all types of terrain, from cities to battlefields, while keeping everything inside safe from enemy fire. So the RCH-155 brings together the best of both worlds, the heavy-hitting firepower of the Panzerhaubitze 2000 and the agility and protection of the GTK Boxer. This combination makes it a game-changer on the battlefield, giving it an edge that Russia's artillery just can't match. A deeper dive into its capabilities reveals just how much of a threat the RCH-155 is. Let's expand on the mobility first. The RCH-155 isn't your average artillery piece that gets stuck in the mud or spends half its time waiting for transport. No, its GTK Boxer's 8x8 wheeled chassis allows it to move fast, very fast. Unlike the slow, tracked Panzerhaubitze 2000 with its 265-mile range, the RCH-155 can cruise for up to 435 miles without breaking a sweat. And that's not all. This vehicle is also designed for shoot and scoot operations. What does that mean? Well, it's simple. Fire, move, ditch, before anyone can fire back. Now, gunning and running is an impressive feat, but what about gunning while running? Yep, you heard that right. This beast can fire while on the move. Thanks to its state-of-the-art stabilization system, the RCH-155's computer constantly monitors the vehicle's position, adjusting the gun's aim in real time to make sure the shot hits its target. Whether it's driving across rough terrain or zooming down the road, this thing keeps firing with pinpoint precision. Russian soldiers won't even be able to blink before another round is on its way. Speaking of rounds, let's talk firepower. The RCH-155 can fire up to 9 rounds per minute, almost double the rate of older systems, and it has a maximum range of 25 miles with standard ammunition. But when you slap on the long-range artillery projectiles, that range jumps to 33.5 miles. That's right, Ukraine can sit back and hit Russian positions from afar. No more worrying about getting close to the enemy. Russia's troops, supply lines, and command centers are fair game from far out of their reach. The automation, pure brilliance. The RCH-155 needs just 2 crew members, a commander and a driver. That's it. No more crowded, slow-moving artillery pieces with teams of 5 or more. The turret, the firing, the reloading, it's all automated. With a 2-person crew, this system minimizes logistical headaches and makes it easier to deploy and sustain in the field. And that automation means faster targeting and quicker responses, so when Ukrainian troops want to fire, they can do it fast, way faster than any traditional artillery system. So the RCH-155 can fire incredibly fast and on the move. Does it get any better than that? Believe it or not, it does. The RCH also possesses a unique hunter-killer capability. This is one of the key features that sets it apart from anything Russia has to offer. But what does this hunter-killer role actually mean for Ukraine? It means that the RCH-155 can engage not just static artillery positions, but also enemy vehicles like tanks and armored fighting vehicles. This is the kind of thing that only infantry and combat tanks can do. But now this engineering marvel can do it too, thanks to its 155mm main gun and a direct fire mode. This capability gives it an edge in combat situations where traditional artillery would struggle to respond quickly enough. Even better, the main gun can elevate from -2.5 to +65 degrees. This flexibility allows the RCH-155 to engage targets at almost any angle, from both long distances and close up. And it does so with incredible speed. As soon as the commander identifies a threat through the optronics, the optical and infrared systems, the RCH-155 automatically slays the gun to the target's position and fires, all within seconds. And importantly, it can do this while simultaneously engaging other targets, so when the gunner is firing on one target, the commander can already identify and lock onto the next, giving them a deadly edge when it comes to eliminating multiple threats at once. For Russia, this is a nightmare. Traditional artillery systems take longer to detect, aim, and fire on moving targets. But the RCH-155, this deadly vehicle can shoot first and leave Russian forces scrambling to react. If a Russian tank or armored vehicle gets caught in the open, the RCH-155 can zero in on it and take it out within moments. No time for the Russian troops to evade or reposition. This means that the RCH-155 doesn't just neutralize Russian armor, it also disrupts the invader's ability to organize and defend effectively. That's why it's safe to say that this thing is tailor-made for Ukraine's battlefield needs. Minimal crew, maximum firepower, and the ability to hit hard and fast without ever slowing down. It's like the Germans knew exactly what was needed to take the fight to Russia. As a result, the RCH-155 doesn't just level the playing field, it flips it upside down. With all this in mind, it isn't surprising that the RCH-155 comes from a legacy of precision and innovation. The manufacturer, KNDS, has a long-standing history of delivering top-tier military technology. Based in Kassel, Germany, this production site has also built legendary tanks like the Leopard 1 and Leopard 2. For decades, Kassel has been synonymous with cutting-edge defense manufacturing, with military vehicles that have proven their worth on battlefields worldwide. KNDS was born from a merger between Krauss-Maffei Wegmann (KMW) and France's Nexter Systems in 2015, creating one of Europe's foremost powerhouses in military land systems. For over a decade, KMW has been working on the Artillery Gun Module (AGM) that forms the heart of the RCH-155, pushing the envelope of what's possible in automated artillery. But it's not just the machines themselves that are impressive, it's the people behind them. As German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius pointed out, the real treasure of the Kassel site is the workforce, known for their precision, determination, and teamwork. It's this very team that has taken KNDS's bold designs and turned them into reality, with the RCH-155 being their latest triumph. As mentioned, this triumph was revealed on January 13th in Kassel, with the first RCH-155 system officially handed over to Ukraine by Pistorius. Alexei Mikheyev, Ukraine's ambassador to Germany, was on the receiving end, and this handoff was nothing short of historic. Mikheyev labeled it a very special day, emphasizing just how much Ukraine needed a weapon of this caliber. He also praised Germany for its relentless help to his country, saying, "When we one day sit at the negotiation table, it will be good to be supported by strong German weapons and to have Germany by our side." On the German side, Pistorius made a clear statement about the country's commitment, saying, "Ukraine can count on us, and this delivery is a signal." But it's also important to note that this delivery isn't the only one Germany will make to Ukraine. Ukraine is set to receive a total of 54 RCH-155 systems, which will be enough to fully equip 3 artillery battalions. The delivery process will be staggered, with 6 units expected to be handed over in 2025. The initial contract for 18 units was signed back in 2022, followed by a supplementary order for an additional 36 units in 2023. While these systems are expected to play a critical role in Ukraine's artillery capabilities, don't expect them to hit the front lines immediately. For now, those 6 vehicles will remain in Germany for operator training, but with training already underway, it's only a matter of time before the full 54 systems are operational. Some reports even suggest that the first units could be deployed in the field as early as April, so Russia may not have long to brace for this next stage of combat. If this timeline does pan out, the RCH-155s will arrive at a particularly bad time for Russia's artillery. Though artillery was once a cornerstone of Russia's military strategy, it's now facing a significant decline. The most recent losses of Russian artillery pieces are staggering, highlighting a broader issue. Ukraine's advanced drone and counter-battery systems have made Russian artillery a prime target. Every Russian artillery piece that fires risks being spotted by these systems, leading to swift and often fatal retaliation from Ukraine's first-person view or FPV drones. Add howitzers that can take out other howitzers while moving, and it's truly game over for Russia's artillery. However, it seems that Russia is well aware that the state of its artillery is deteriorating. Based on drastic fluctuations in losses, Russia is seemingly starting to conserve its artillery. The result is a more limited supply, making each gun even more precious and difficult to replace. To make matters worse, Russia has had to field non-standard North Korean 170mm self-propelled guns, which complicates support and logistics even further. This desperate measure underscores the mounting pressure to keep artillery in operation. Why does this matter for Russia? Well, artillery is a central pillar of Russian military doctrine, critical for both offensive and defensive operations. But if Ukraine can continue to neutralize this artillery, the implications will be dire. Russia's slow, grinding advances will become more costly and inefficient, while Ukraine will gain greater flexibility for offensive maneuvers without the constant threat of mass Russian artillery fire. The RCH-155's mobility and precision put even more pressure on Russia. Ukraine can quickly strike from a distance with highly effective counter-battery systems and shoot-and-scoot operations that are harder to track. With drones relentlessly hunting down Russian artillery, the eventual depletion of their stocks will leave significant gaps in Russian artillery ranks. The introduction of the RCH-155 will also force Russia to adapt in ways that could strain its already fragile operations. To avoid becoming easy targets, Russian artillery units will have to move their positions further back. However, this shift will reduce their ability to provide the necessary fire support for frontline operations. This ongoing relocation strategy not only wastes valuable resources, but also limits the Russian military's ability to sustain its offensive momentum, making it harder to continue advancing. That's not to mention the psychological impact of the RCH-155 on Russian troops. Knowing they're facing a cutting-edge Western weapon, Russia's soldiers are likely to be demoralized. The speed, precision, and automation of the RCH-155 make it a fearsome adversary, and the constant threat of precision strikes from a distance will likely erode the will to fight among Russian troops. On the other hand, the knowledge that they have a superior weapon will undoubtedly boost the morale of Ukrainian forces. The RCH-155 will give Ukraine the confidence that they can strike hard and fast, without hesitation, on a battlefield where artillery is often the deciding factor. Though the RCH-155 is a game-changer, don't think that's all Germany has in store for Ukraine. Germany is also sending a heavy hitter we mentioned a few times in this video, the Panzerhaubitze 2000. These tracked behemoths are a perfect complement to the RCH-155, offering a long-range punch that'll keep Russian forces on their toes. Germany is committed to delivering a total of 54 of these beasts by 2027, with 36 already in Ukrainian hands. Some are already in action, and while there's been some loss, the impact is clear. And Germany isn't only impacting the Russo-Ukrainian war with hardware. It's also trained over 420 Ukrainian soldiers in using Western-made artillery systems. So Ukrainian troops aren't just receiving advanced tech, they're also learning to master it, and once that's all in place, Ukraine's artillery force will be one of the most advanced and versatile out there. So while the RCH-155 might steal the spotlight, it's just part of a bigger, more powerful picture. And the Boxer wheeled infantry fighting vehicle that we mentioned earlier is also part of this picture. The Boxer's primary mission is to carry infantry, but it's so much more than just transport. It's a modern, highly mobile and well-armored vehicle that can handle rough terrain, which is a major advantage in the varied landscapes of Ukraine. What makes this even more interesting is the Boxer's role in countering the increasing threat of drones on the battlefield. Ukraine's forces have had to contend with Russian FPV drones and loitering munitions that pose a significant risk to artillery pieces like the RCH-155. The Boxer RCT-30 variant is equipped with a powerful 30mm autocannon and is designed to defend against such aerial threats. It's good then that Germany delivered 9 of these beasts early in 2025. These vehicles are expected to play a key role in protecting artillery units, ensuring that Ukraine's forces can keep hitting hard without being vulnerable to the drones that have been so effective in taking out self-propelled howitzers in the past. Essentially, this is another tool in the toolbox that boosts Ukraine's capacity to defend itself and project power on the battlefield. For Russia, these deliveries mean they will have to contend not just with artillery that outranges them, but with highly protected, versatile vehicles designed to operate in a battlefield that's becoming increasingly complex and drone-dominated. But how much of a difference will these German vehicles make? What do you think? Are 54 RCH-155s enough to turn the tide of the artillery war? Or will Ukraine need more to truly dominate the battlefield? And with Germany continuing to supply Ukraine with cutting-edge weapons, what's next? Could even more powerful systems be on the horizon? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Now go and check out Canada just made Ukraine's Air Force unstoppable, or click this other video instead.